Hey admins, how we doing out there? Today's video is going to be a little bit longer only because I didn't do one last week. And I should have put something in very important that was in last week that I wasn't aware, and I left some important information out that you guys should have gotten, although those are sent in Moose International Communications, so you have been informed. um, First of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about these videos. This will be the last video that I do that is on YouTube that is open for anybody to see. Again, I'm getting contacts from people that, you know, either are regular Moose members, but more importantly, other organizations that want to know the information and how I know this. And again, this is for Indiana Moose Lodges. It's not for other Moose Lodges because there are some things sometimes that are state specific. It's not for any of the other fraternal animal clubs or veterans clubs because while most of this pertains to them, I'm not in charge of them. Also, there's sometimes when I want to be able to speak a little more freely and I don't want government agencies to be able to see this too. Again, it's just open to anybody, and we want to try to keep some of that information private. So starting after this one, you'll have to have the link on YouTube to get to the video. Otherwise, if you go there, you won't get anything unless you have the specific link. I'm still looking at some other video programs where I can track to see who's watching them, because clearly some people aren't watching these videos because something I cover and then literally the next week becomes an issue in the lodge, and I'm like, did you not watch that video? Would have covered that situation if you would have watched it. So I'm going to try to figure that out. Again, going forward, I'll be fine. There are some other territory managers and some other people that like to watch this videos as well, for you guys, just to get ideas. If you want to email me and you have my email, I can add you on the email list that goes out to everyone, because if you guys want to watch it, that's perfectly fine. Excuse me. So the important thing that I should have put in a video last week was lodge safety inspection time is upon us. Actually, I was thinking that was going to be later. I'm not really for sure why it is that we didn't get a heads up, but that's fine. So the lodge safety inspection form must be done in the lodges by the lodge administrator and the board. The trustees do help out with that. That can be found in LCL under forms, same place you'd find the Heart of the Community and stuff. It's right in there, and you can click on it. A couple of things about that though. I do suggest before you start it to print it off, give it to your trustees, go out and correct the information, fill it on the paper, then go back to LCL and fill it out all at once. Because if you are in LCL and inactive for like 30 minutes, it's going to time out and lock you out, and you'll have to start over, and you would lose the information if you've not hit save yet. So print it up, go do the work, then come back and enter it all at one time. Also on there, it wants you to make sure that you have seen a couple of links before, and you need to sign the date of when you've watched them and downloaded them. So one's the insurance reference manual, and right now for some reason I'm skipping what the other one is. It's on there. I'm going blank, but there's two on there. Make sure you watch those. I think it's the loss prevention video. There we go. Make sure you watch those and look at those before you date and say you have, because that's you saying, yes, I've read this information. So if we come across one of those problems that are in one of those either video or manuals, and you say I didn't know, that's on you, because you clicked and said you've read that information. So make sure you pay attention to that. Now, one thing is wrong on there, at least right now as of today when I'm doing this video. The insurance reference manual, when you click on it, does not go to the correct page. In this email, or in the email that I put this video link to that I send to all the lodges, I will also have that on there. But you can also find it by going to the Moose International website and going up the search bar, and if you put insurance reference manual, it'll take you to the PDF link, so it can be found. It's just the link within LCL is going to the wrong place for some reason. Excuse me. You also want to make sure you have that done by the deadline. Do not wait until the last minute to do that. Getting that done on time will get the lodge $100 credit towards their AR, or their statement of account. Those two are the same things. They reference different things for different people. So your AR payment, when you hear me discuss the AR payment, I am also talking about your statement of account. They break down your bill that you owe monthly to Moose International. Covers risk pool insurance, liabilities in that, covers your directors, your officers' insurance, covers QuickBooks and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. But when I'm also refer to AR payment, that's which stands for accounts receivable. That's your accounts receivable that you get from Moose International. So it's the same thing. So if you're hearing me say one or the other, same difference. But you'll get $100 credit towards that if it's done on time. If it is done late, in the last couple of years we've had Ivory Lodge be able to turn them in on time, but if you don't, you will get a 10% modifier added to your risk pool. What does that mean? Your risk pool will go up by 10%. And that's not just a Moose International raining down laws, because if they don't turn this information over in time to the insurance company rate makes our rates go up. So that's why it has to be done on time. We're just passing that cost off onto you. If you're not verifying that information that's on there, they don't know if the building's gotten bigger, there's more members, they don't know any of that stuff. So they're just gonna up it automatically without talking to you. So make sure that's done by the deadline. Alrighty, on to the next thing. Elections should be wrapping up. Almost every lodge should be done by now. There are a few lodges that have their second meetings on the 4th week, so they should be doing installations. But all elections should be done by now, because it's supposed to happen at your first general membership meeting of the month of April. We seem to have a problem in lodges, and I covered this in a previous video, and lodges are still doing this. If you have a lodge that all officers are uncontested, you still have to have the election. So at the general membership meeting and in the minutes book, it has to be recorded that all those people were voted on by the membership. Again, even if they're uncontested, the election has to happen. And those elections are very simple. If they're uncontested, it's sign of the order. One vote gets them in a general, or in the regular election when they're uncontested. No votes don't count. No votes don't count in this situation. In the elections anyways, you only count the yes votes anyhow. Excuse me. So that needs to be done. You need to have your officers installed before the end of the month, so when they take over May 1st. We will talk about required training in the next video, so I will not go there because I'm already taking a lot of time up here. Also, I want to talk about numbers and applications. So last month we ended the month just 15 down. As of today, we're about 530 down. So between 64 lodges, that means we need to get approximately 7 members per lodge, either expired members to renew or new applications. That can also include enrollments, of course, and reinstatements. If a member is expired April 30th of this year, they're not counting those numbers. They don't become expired till May 1st. So of course we want them to sign up. We want people to renew in advance, but they're not the ones hurting the numbers. They have to be already expired, so they need to be expired from March 31st or prior to that, and new applications. So again, that's only approximately 7 members per lodge. So we got a little more than a week as of today. So it's basically 1 a day. So if we can go out and find 1 person per day in a lodge, maybe you can find a married couple, and that'd be 2 in 1 day. So it would help out. But we've got to try to find that many out there. And again, that's not an undoable number. 7 members in 7 days. Applications. There seems to be some issues out there with getting an application, putting it in LCL, getting it back accepted, and letting it sit there. So the majority of lodges do a pretty good job, and there are about 80 applications that are in the accepted portal right now for Indiana, and they're sitting there. Most of them, though, pretty good within the last couple of weeks, but there are a couple dozen out there that are with lodges that have been sitting there since almost a month now. We need to make sure we're getting them in, because we have to remember that member does not get their card, or doesn't even get sent to them, until we enroll them. So there is the accepted, and then once they're enrolled, and then it takes about 7 to 10 business days for them to get that card. So if we've let them sit there for a month, and they've got another 2 weeks before they get it, it's going to be 6 weeks to 2 months before they get their card, and that's just unacceptable and too long for them to get their card, especially when they want to go to other lodges, or if your lodge is a lodge that has a card reader, it's important they get their card as soon as possible. Excuse me. Plus, with lost my place there. Applications. Oh, there we go. There are some applications that we've put them in to be accepted, and then either the lodge has voted them not to be a member, either they have a felony or for whatever reason. When you try to delete that out of LCL, it hangs out there, and Moose International, the help desk, wants a reason as to why they were, why they're being deleted or why they're there. If you think you're going to have a problem with an individual, a background check or something like that, I would suggest not even putting them into LCL to see if they're going to be accepted first. Wait till that background check is done. If we think there's going to be something that's going to keep them out, it's just easier not to even put them in the system and then reject them later and say thank you very much. If you do reject a member or a potential member, reject them from membership, please do remember that in the rejection letter, it does not have to state why you're not taking them as a member. I know sometimes people want to answer that, or they may want an answer. We are a private organization, and we do not have to tell them. It's just the same thing as in a job interview. You don't have to explain to an applicant why you didn't hire them as an employee. And in fact, we'd rather you not, simply because we don't want you to state something that may give them legal action. Just say, thank you very much, you applied. Our nominating committee passed, send an apology, tell them they can try back in 6 months if they wish. They probably won't if they've been rejected once, who knows. But it's just easier not to put them in the program if you think there's going to be an issue. We've had a few of those lately. So that's all I have. I took 13 minutes. I do apologize. I'll see y'all next week. And we'll have one more video before the end of the month, so make sure we're pushing for those numbers. End of the Moose year's here. Take care, guys.